Okay, welcome back to the vlog. I told myself I would vlog during finals week, and finals week is almost over, which nothing really fun happened, so there wasn't really anything to document. But it's Wednesday, and I feel like my only goal was to get past Wednesday morning. I had a presentation and one of my bigger tests. We made it. The test was awesome and was so easy. The presentation went well. Me and my sister had that class together, so we got to study together, and it was so fun. We would send my family pictures of us studying throughout the week. Just getting to soak up time with the roommates has been fun. I feel like during finals week, I think I said this in my first ever vlog, because that was during finals week with us moving out, like there's just so much time to like hang out and have fun, which yes, we're studying, but it's just been like everyone's just been, you know, like goofing off and have all this time to study together, having study breaks together. So it's been really sweet, definitely soaking up the last couple moments, especially because Madison studies abroad next semester, so we all have to say our goodbyes soon, which is just crazy. This semester flew by. I have one more final tomorrow, and then we head home. Well, Grace graduates, and then I have a wedding to go to, and then we head home. Okay. So when I went to Target, I picked up some cookies, and we have 4 specific neighbors, 2 families, and then 2 older sweet couples on like both sides of us. And I just think it would be so precious because they were so inviting when we came and moved in. And so I can see your arms being raised. Madison's working out in there. So I thought it would be so sweet to do a little like Merry Christmas and give it to them. I hope they don't think it's like creepy, but I think it'll be sweet. So I'm making some cookies, but I also just burned the first batch. So don't wipe me up. So just finished my last final. Now I'm kind of considered a senior, which is crazy. I graduate this time next year, so I guess I have 2 more semesters left. So I can't even think about that right now. But I have to take Elsie to the airport in like a little over an hour. So I was gonna go to the gym right after, like I brought my AirPods and I was, you know, ready to go straight there. I'm feeling a run this morning. So I just got to the park and it's like 30 degrees right now. I also need to find some songs to play. Okay, that was such a good run. It was freezing, but I feel like that's my favorite weather to run in. So it was really good, around 3.5 miles. And now I need to go get ready, take Elsie to the airport. I did 2000s, early 2000s bangers because Elsie had played it on my Spotify earlier this week. And so I just had it on, and so it was really good. It was funny, just some of these songs, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I listening to? But it got me going, so it was good. Okay, it's been a while since I vlogged last. What's new? I babysat last night. It was probably one of my favorite families ever. 3 sweet little boys, and they were precious. We like colored, we played Candyland, we watched The Grinch. It was really sweet. And then that was Madison's last night. So she said bye to everyone yesterday, and then me, Kennedy, and Madison were the last ones this morning. So it was kind of sad. It's been a rough couple of like, I guess, days, but she was cleaning out our room and like she took everything back with her. So her side of the closet's empty, her side of the room is empty. So that just was hard because now it's like visual. But they left this morning. Both of them left super early. So I went back to bed, and then I just got done at the gym. And then my family should be in town in a few hours. So I have like a whole to-do list that I need to do before they get here. Galatians 4, and I'm going through a study, like 6 months of a deep dive into the New Testament. It just is like so simple, and I think we always overcomplicate it. But just the truth behind not basing like God's acceptance of us off our own doing and what man can do. And it talks about how that's so enslaving, and how the cross and the resurrection of Christ gave us this freedom. It says it is for the freedom that Christ has set us free. And so it's almost like the Galatians, Paul talks about how they were going back to the law, even though they saw with their own eyes what Jesus did for them. And some of the questions that I was asking is, do we trust what the cross has done and what it bought us? But then also, how can we live that out to show? And I think it's in James 1 or 2 where it talks about just our works are evidence of our faith. It's like a byproduct of our faith. And I've always wrestled with that because, you know, as believers, like our work should be out of an overflow of love for our Father. I think that's what should be our motivation behind, you know, spiritual disciplines, like getting in the Word every morning, stewarding your body well, fasting, your prayer life, joining in fellowship with other believers, evangelism, like all those things. That shouldn't be, you know, to get your acceptance from God, or to think that he's gonna love you anymore because of those things. It should be like out of an overflow of love. In the prayer, there's a prayer every morning that kind of goes along with it. Father, give me the grace not to put myself in a place where I try to merit your acceptance on the basis of my good works. That would be submitting myself again to the hopelessness and enslavement I knew before I became your child. Rather, let me rest and delight in the fact that I'm your child. Amen. So I love this, and I think this is something that a lot of us probably struggle with trying to, you know, live out our faith. But when it becomes more than our relationship with the Lord, it kind of strips what Jesus did on the cross for us and that whole purpose. So anyway, I thought that was really good. Okay, now that I'm done with my to-do list, I am gonna go to J. Crew. There's a J. Crew factory, and they have so many things on sale. And I went with Madison to get a Christmas present yesterday. And so I was like, okay, so I need to come back when I have the time. So I might do that. And then I'm gonna go with Grace to pick up my fam at the airport. So, fit check. These pants are so long, and I have my tallest shoes on and they still reach the floor. I did some damage. Okay, so I got the same sweater that Madison got as a gift for someone, and I saw it and I was like, I have to have it. So I tried it on and buttoned only the top, you know the vibes, and it was really cute. And it was only $20, which it's originally, let me just show you, $138. So I think that's a must. And then I was about to check out, and then I saw this, and then I had to go back to the dressing room. And this is just so simple. $16, and it's originally $90. So I think you just have to do it when it's that discounted. But now I'm running late to go to Grace's house, then to the airport, but she'll survive. Love. Okay, it's been a hot minute. It hit me that I have not vlogged at all this weekend, which I kind of knew was going to be busy, a lot going on, kind of hosting a lot of people, my family, and then my two littles. So I knew it was going to be a lot to remember. So anyway, I'm just going to recap it, which isn't as fun as like watching in the moment, but I'll get better at that. So family got in town. We had an awesome time and hung out with the family, and Grace graduated on Saturday, which is insane. And I was just sitting there like just so astounded by all the work she's put into college, but then getting to graduate early is such a huge victory. So super proud of her. And then I went to the wedding with Lila and Nora, and it was so fun. Our whole like 80 Pi Diamond family was there, except Madison. So it was really sweet. We tore it up on the dance floor. It was so fun, so sweet to celebrate the newly married couple. The wedding was so beautiful, and yeah, it's been so fun. Also, I just finished Titus, the book of Titus. It's right after 1st and 2nd Timothy, and I haven't read it in a while, so I did the Bible recap all last year. I actually finished beginning of this summer. I took breaks through it, but like did the whole Bible in a year. And so it's been a while since I reread it, and it was so good. It's like 3 short chapters, and it's just all packed and filled with how to live a godly life. And I think just with like my experience, so James 1 and 2 talks about how as Christians, you know, our faith is not based off of our works, and I don't believe that at all. But I don't know, like if your heart is in it, and if you claim to know the gospel, believe it, and like want to live it out, like your actions are going to be an overflow of your faith and your love and your relationship with the Lord, and how you treat other people. Like it really is just a byproduct of your faith. And so knowing like where that comes from in scripture, it makes it so much more clear to understand Titus and not take it out of context, of like your faith is not based off works. But in the end, as Christians, we're called to live differently and set apart from this world. And I just love that like simple truth, and I just think that's such a good reminder that like we have like this treasure, this gift of knowing the gospel, believing it to be true, and then getting to live it out. And there was one quote that said like we should live out our lives so that others have no way to accuse us of living ungodly lives. And then also we have the power to live differently than this world. And then there was a prayer that's part of my study that was just asking the Lord to like allow me to conform to him and his will and his doctrine more and more, so that it can be made more beautiful for others. So I just like am fired up about that, and it might be one of my favorite books now. So thanking the Lord that he revealed a lot this morning. And that's just something that I've been trying to implement, is like praying for the Lord to open my eyes to what he has for me every time I open the word. And some mornings it might hit different than others, but when you're building those habits and building that discipline of getting the word, you definitely can see just like your faith strengthening, your knowledge of the Lord strengthening, your love for the Lord growing. So anyway, that was really sweet. But now I need to get ready and do some more laundry. That's kind of